One of the coolest presents I ever got in the history of ever was my sister-in-law bought me a plane ticket to go to New York. I'd never been to New York before. That was pretty cool. To go to the Nintendo, like Rochester, New York, the Nintendo World Store to pick up this bad boy right here that I hold in my hot little hands. The Nintendo Switch. This was on March 3rd, 2017. Now, this has been a trusty companion of mine. It has followed me and gone with me on many, many adventure, both personal and business related. But I have some sad news. And I didn't realize it until I went to play Balatro last night in bed. And after charging my Switch all day, I still had like 8% battery. I'm going to try to hold it up so y'all can see it. Can you see the battery bulge? Can you see the case blowing out? You see that ugly seam right there in the center and how oblong this thing has become? I have battery bulge. There's 100% battery bulge. I could see it. I could feel it. It's breaking out the plastic. It's messing up. It actually popped two of the bolts out. It looks like it might have even cracked part of the back of the case. And it's messed up where the speakers come out because now the plastic is kind of shifted the speakers. So it happened. It finally happened. I bought this to try to fix it. I don't know anything about repairs. I have two left hands. And there's a dude in Orlando called the Tech Commander. And if he's watching right now, I want you to know, dude, I'm going to try to fix this on my own. If I can't, I'm calling you tomorrow because I am not going to go and travel without my tried and trusty Switch. I bought this on Amazon. It was like $20. There's other ones. I bought this one. This is a 4550 milliamp hour battery. They do sell cheapo batteries that are like 2000 milliamp hours. Supposedly the Nintendo Switch battery is the 4550. So this is probably the closest one-to-one thing I can find. I did look on iFixit to see if I could find, because I love watching Steve on Techtronics Fix. And I was like, well, maybe, Steve's got all the fancy tools. He's got all the fancy hardware. That's expensive. The toolkit that guy uses is like $85. And I don't really want to spend $85 if I can't even fix the damn thing. And then I got to buy the battery. It's like a $35 certified battery. And I'm like, you know what? This thing is end of life. I know we're getting a Switch 2 next year. I just need this for like 8 more months, okay? And the day the Switch 2 comes out, I'm buying it. I'm going to have it day one, right? So I just need a little bit more juice out of this, just a little more. Now, worst case scenario, I could take the battery out and not put a battery in, and now it becomes like my old laptop, which has to be plugged in. But I do like the portable mode. I do like playing certain games laying in bed at night. So I went ahead and I bought this kit to try to fix it. It's got, decent reviews on Amazon. But it comes with a little user manual here, and then the battery itself, and then all of these various bits. You need all these bits because, as I'm learning, these screws on this Switch are not regular screws. They're like, I don't even know, Y screws or something. I can't even show you if I wanted to, but look at the back of your Switch to see what I'm talking about. They're like not Phillips. They're not flathead. They're in between. They're like a Y, like a triangle. There's a bunch of them. I'm looking at them now. There's like 10 of them. And then there's like different screws inside the battery. And then you got to pry the battery out with the thing. And there's all this stuff. So I bought this kit. It comes with, it seemed pretty sturdy, like a big, heavy metal like rod that's got a hole on the end for you to plug in all these various bits. So it's just like a standard like screwdriver bit. It's magnetized and I can crank on this thing. When I do stuff, I break it. It also comes with this little plastic thing, which is probably going to snap in half, honestly. But this is supposed to help you like pry the battery off, because it turns out in their infinite wisdom, Nintendo freaking glued the battery to the bottom of the Switch, which is mind-blowing to me. And then, a bunch of screws to take apart. Now, I'm not going to try to record this. I thought about it. I really did. I was like, I'm going to record. I was thinking about it. I have these old headbands when I had long hair. I'm like, I'm going to get these long headbands, and then I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to like plug it in my head, and then that way I can work and you can see what I'm doing, and no one cares. No one cares about that at all. Probably no one even cares about this, but I like doing videos. This is what you're going to get. So it shows you all the different replacement screws on this thing. There are like a billion screws to take this thing apart. And I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow. I'm not starting tonight. I need to lay everything out on the kitchen table. I'm gonna get little tiny containers of all where the screws are so I don't lose anything. And then I'm gonna replace the battery with this sweet battery. Let's just look at it real quick. I'm curious what the battery looks like. We're gonna replace it with this sweet battery here. And hopefully that will fix the problem. I mean, it's going to fix the bulge, right? Like you've probably had technology that has a bulging battery on it. I know I have. My first Sirius satellite radio unit, my Sirius S100, I had to remove the battery. So there it is in all its glory. Cool little battery, the little connector. And then they give you some like 3M tape. So I guess they want you to glue it down. So like on top, I don't know. We'll try it tomorrow. The next time you see this switch, one of two things is going to happen. It's going to be me crying because I broke the screen because I horsed it around too hard. Or it's going to be fixed. Or you're going to see me talking to the Tronics, the tech commander guy, because he comes to your house. And you're going to see me sitting in his little tool shed in the back. He's got like his big van. You're going to see me sitting in the back, recording him, watching him fix it. That's one of the three outcomes. Pray for me. It's the outcome where I fix it. And we're going to find that out right now. All right, here's a mid-repair upgrade. I went ahead and I followed the manual here. And you see how at least on the manual I got, you see how the screws are highlighted, 1, 2, and then 3 over here with different colors. What I did was I got some little Tupperware lids. I left the bit for each of the various screws in there. And I put the corresponding piece next to it. Now this is the little memory card reader, which I did have to pop off over here. As far as the case, obviously it is definitely a bulging battery. I don't know if you can tell or not by the camera angle, but it is bulging out pretty significantly here in the center. The back plate looks pretty good. I'll probably get a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and clean a lot of this off. You could see actually some of the dust if I mark with my finger here from the little fan. I'll probably go ahead and just air can this and isopropyl alcohol some of this area off. One thing I did notice though so far, unfortunately, due to the fact that the battery was bulging so bad, one of the plastic pieces, so you see here, you see how there's like a clip there? That's where one of the screws goes in. This one is missing. It's actually right down here, right here. It's this little black piece here. This is actually supposed to be connected to the bottom end of that. So when I put it together, I'm going to put all the screws in. But I have a feeling one of these screws holding the top in, this one right here, this number 2 right here in the top center, I have a feeling that that's not going to work anymore. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and work on taking the battery out. That's supposed to be the hardest part of it. And I will report back very soon. Wish me luck. This battery removal is no joke. They were not kidding. I got this piece of plastic spudger in here. I've pushed it in and I'm just going very, very slowly. I keep checking to make sure I haven't cracked the screen. I'm pretty sure there is a metal plate that's like blocking the 2 pieces of the components, but I'm so afraid to just push and put any torque on this because I'm sure I'll snap the plastic off of like the plastic base, like this piece here. But I'm just slowly walking the spudger in and I'm using this piece here as kind of a counterpoint to slowly kind of pry some of this here. I can't do it with 2 hands, unfortunately, but I hear it creaking and groaning and slowly letting up the heat. Now, the glue. Now, some people have said using a hair dryer is good because you can get localized heat on here. But according to this manual, it says, do not use sharp metal or hot air to remove the battery. It is very, very dangerous. I don't know how true that is. I am making headway with this. Obviously, there's no, the plastic tension isn't working. I'm just pushing it in this way, and I'm slowly lifting it up. When I first started, I couldn't even get anything under there. Now I'm maybe a quarter of the way. I suspect at some point it's just going to come pop and flying off. So we'll go ahead and pause here and get back to the digging. One thing quickly to point out is you do see this is a 3.7 volt, 4310 milliamp hour battery. And the replacement is a 3.7 volt, 4550 milliamp hour battery. So slightly bigger, 16.8 watt hours versus 16.0. So I feel like if nothing else, it should at least be comparable in performance.
I guess I don't really care too much. I just needed the stupid thing to turn on and not blow out the back. I do play in portable mode, but I usually carry a battery with me anyway, like a USB stick, because I don't want to keep looking at the battery indicator. I just want to enjoy the game. You know what I mean? All right. Next video will be the final one. I promise. All right, there you have a super, super bulging battery sticking out really, really, really high. It's really fat. The plastic noise that I was hearing that I thought was glue is actually this adhesive pad here. I was under the impression they actually glued it down. This is just a piece of adhesive strip. It looks like I could reuse it once I kind of push it in place. And obviously the new battery I have, it's still in the box, but the new battery I have does include a 3M strip. This is on pretty tight. So I'm debating if I want to just leave this as is or completely remove this. But this battery is swole, bro. I don't know if you could see that or not. That is really, really, really big. So I'm going to get rid of this and start working on the battery replacement. And then I have to reconnect some cables here. So we'll be back again soon. I think the hardest part of it's done. Wish me luck. The first sign of life. The battery they gave me is charged, sort of, 80%. Before I did connect anything, I did want to make sure I actually plugged it in properly. Just mash this thing down in there. This still is pretty solid. I did rip off a little extra piece of the felt. Now I'm gonna put the 3M strip on, smash this all together, fold this cable over, and begin reassembly. Final video, moment of truth here. I did end up having that one extra screw, which goes in right here. Obviously, with the connecting piece to it sitting here on the table, that is actually not gonna work. Everything went back together pretty easily with all the screws in the casing. The one thing that I didn't really screw up on, but I realized I was having an issue with, I did check the SD card before I put this case on, and I had a hard time getting the case on because it was bound up against this SD card. So make sure after you test everything, you pull the SD card out, and then it can plug back in, no issue. That still works. The moment of truth is, does everything fire back up? And as you can see, it's confused because I don't have an SD card anymore. But as you can see, hopefully it's gonna turn on. It's gonna turn on, right? I did the power button twice. Don't do this to me. Okay, I was like, bro, don't do this to me. Okay, it just turned off. It didn't reset. Actually, I did the power button a second time. But as you can see, it's firing back up. Everything looks to be in working order. And just to make 100% sure, let me go over to my settings here. And let's check the memory. And it does, in fact, show that there's a memory card. And obviously, the battery's working because we are completely disconnected and walking around. They recommend with battery life, typically, what you do, you want to drain it completely dead, then charge it completely, then drain it completely dead one more time. That's just kind of an old wives' tale. I don't know if that applies to every single battery, but I've done it on every single device I've ever had. This one will be no different. But for now, that wraps up this video. I would give this repair, like, it took me, I'm looking at the clock here. I did stop to do a couple little video things. Ooh, that battery dropped fast, didn't it? Maybe this isn't a great battery. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the best battery. We're gonna watch for a minute. It's enough to get by. But like I said, I always carry a battery, so I really don't care anymore. That said, it took me about an hour. I did stop a few times to do a couple YouTube things and a little bio break in the middle, but it wasn't horrible. They do give you everything you need on this kit. I'm sure a lot of the Amazon kits are all the same. What I like about this one in particular, as I wrap up this video here, the way the screwdriver works, because the top actually slides, I was able to push my finger and roll. I was able to hold here for pressure and roll this to screw things on faster. And it's a nice heavy piece of metal. So I did like this one. There are other ones. I don't know. I don't know what even the brand I got. NYI. I don't remember what I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. Yeah, NYI user guide. So whatever. This little thing actually worked out pretty well. I'm surprised I didn't bend it more than I thought I would. I had that thing wedged in there so tight. And I mean, this battery there's a lot of adhesive on here. I'm not really sure the philosophy behind them putting adhesive on the battery, to be honest. It's secured pretty well in place in this little plastic trench.
And it obviously doesn't wiggle even with the plastic. I think it's just kind of overkill. But hey, I got my switch back, which means I can get back to losing at Balatro, and I'm super, super, super excited. And I hope you found this video interesting, and yay for me. And sorry, Tech Commander, I figured it out on my own, but I will keep you on speed dial for the next one. Take care, everybody. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.